I want to talk about your association with Better Wellington,
Yep.
which has links to anti-vax and anti-trans movements. It has been controversial, with critics questioning its funding and its influence. Firstly, who are your big donors?
We have 2 property developers. I don't know whether I should actually say who they are before I get permission from them.
Okay, well, you've had weeks to get permission from them. Who are they?
I have asked them if they want me to say who they are, and they said that not yet. And so they said that once the election gets closer, they're quite happy to.
So one of them is Vlad Barbalich, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and how much has he donated?
I think about 40,000.
40,000, okay. So you have 60,000 in the regulated spending period?
Yes.
And of that, 40 grand has come from him?
Oh, yes. But that 40,000 isn't just for me. So it's what he's putting the money into is for the whole team. And so that needs to be split. So they have an accountant who's actually looking at how much the proportion that each candidate is actually allocated from the amount of money that's been donated.
Okay.
So, but I'm well aware of the 60,000, yes.
Okay, great. Because that leads me to another question about the regulated spending period, because you have had billboards up around town for a considerable period. Will you include those in what you declare in the regulated spending?
And from what we've talked about to the lawyers is that we have to actually claim a percentage of the benefit before the 11th of July and the benefit gained after the 11th of July. So they apportion it over these times. And so they allocate who's actually on those billboards, who's actually sharing in that cost. Like, for example, we have a big billboard on the Hutt Road. And so I think there's 9 of us on there. And so that's a portion amongst the 9 people, including the...
But what about the ones who've left Independent Together since that picture was put up?
The ones...
The ones that are on there but are no longer belong to Independence Together?
It's still a portion to them because they're still there, they're still being advertised, and so they still get... It's still a portion to those...
Do they know that?
They've actually asked for the figures on how much is being attributed to them. Now, at that time, those 3 members actually left Independent Together. We were looking at changing that sign to just put the remaining members on there, but I objected to that on the basis of costs. I'm a very, very tight with money, and how it's actually been spent.
I think we got that.
And so I didn't want to see us paying extra money to just change them, and I thought that it didn't really matter.
Okay, all right. I'd like you just, before we move on from this, I'd like you just to clarify your relationship with Better Wellington and what's the relationship between Better Wellington and Independent Together? Isn't Independent Together just a rebranding of Better Wellington?
Initially, I wanted to have a clear separation between the two, because Better Wellington, they came up with lots of things, and as the media found out, they sort of highlighted a lot of things that they're involved in. I knew nothing about those things. I think one of them was something that happened at Takina. I can't remember the name of whatever it was now, but I wasn't even aware of those things that they were involved in before.
But once you became aware of that event and the dirty dossier, why didn't you distance yourself from Better Wellington? Why didn't you make it clear to the public that you don't share their values?
It was actually very difficult because they were involved with a lot of fundraising, and so at that time they were fundraising sort of for the Independent Together group.
So it's money. It's money. Money's the reason.
That is part of it, but also they
What does that say about your campaign then? That these people have said pretty controversial things and done pretty controversial things, and you won't distance yourself from them because of donors?
No. I think I have, because I want the separation. I want a clear separation between Better Wellington, what Better Wellington do, and I believe that they're still involved in a lot of other different things as well.
But you aren't separate from them though, because Glenn and Wood writes your press releases. Lots of their members turn up to your events, cheerlead you. You share an office, so you're Independent and Together and Better Wellington are the same entity, really, aren't they? No.
In fact, we actually don't share an office anymore. Now, Independent Together, whenever we have meetings, we have it off-site. So typically we might have them in the Grand Century now, where they have a meeting room, and so we're trying to, I guess, show to the public that this is what Independent Together are. This is what we do. We're single-mindedly focused on winning the election. And so
they are acting as a political party, and even now, Ray's come here with a speech drafted by Better Wellington.
I hope you're going to read that.
If you vote in Andrew Little, you'll be seeing continual rates rises. I mean, Ray is backed by a political party. They happen to label themselves Better Wellington Independent together, but all the resources are centralised, and they've even got staff coming to some of the candidate debates as well.
So let's just draw a line in the sand today, right? Do you disavow yourselves from Better Wellington and the things they stand for?
I don't agree with, and I'm not involved with any of those other things that they're involved with. The only
But you'll take
relation.
their money. But you'll take their money and their campaign resources.
We have stopped taking donations from them. They're still fundraising for various different things, but we actually stopped taking money from them quite a while ago.
Okay.
So we're actually doing our own fundraising through Independent Together.
Okay, I'm going to move on in a sec, but I just want you to pick up on a comment that you made at a debate the other night where you likened Maori wards to apartheid. Can you just clarify what you meant by that? That's
Okay. And that, I believe that was actually taken out of context. What I was saying was that we were talking about Maori wards, and I was saying that throughout my whole life, I've always believed in treating everyone equally, that everyone has the same opportunity in life. Now, as you know, I've worked in a lot of different countries in the world. I used to be based in Cape Town in South Africa. I didn't like the political system there, and I said that as an example, and I also gave Malaysia as an example of where they treat people differently because of their race. I think that is totally abhorrent, and we shouldn't be doing that. We should be treating everyone equally, because that goes against the mantra that I've actually just said about
But it's
everyone
not-
should be treated together.
Maori wards aren't apartheid. Maori wards aren't
No.
apartheid. But
No.
so why did you say, will you apologise
So
for saying it?
my example, I was giving you an example of where people are treated differently because of the race, and it shouldn't be. So, I also mentioned Malaysia. Now, so the Malaysians are actually treated differently because of their race. Now that, again, I think is exactly the same. So I wasn't talking about apartheid, I was talking about people being treated differently.
But you said apartheid, though.
Did I say apartheid?
You did, yeah.
Okay. I think I said that the apartheid system in there was that treating people differently because of their race. People shouldn't be, no matter where they are, no matter where they live, they shouldn't be treated differently. And same in New Zealand. I think that
Knowing now that you did say it, will you apologise? Because you have offended a lot of people.
I would like to explain the context that I said it in, and I'm saying that system, I
You know,
disagree with the
you
system.
have explained.